Hello viewers, and welcome to yet another episode of the Information Galore program. This is an online program where we break down information in relation to science, politics, business and fashion in a way that is friendly to the audience. I am your host, Joan Mwale. Today, we have a sneak preview of what we have been doing so far. But first, let's look at the news headlines. The former Prime Minister, Right Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga, was sworn in as the People's President. Dr. Fred Matiang'i has been nominated for the Internal Security Cabinet Secretary slot. And finally, the government has shut down several mainstream media stations. This and other stories are what we have for you in our subsequent bulletin. Our science episode was on matters junk food. We looked at the dangers of junk food to the human body system. Our science reporter Naomi Wanjiku had an interaction with the experts, and this is what she prepared for you.
Andrew Smith defines junk foods as products with little or no nutritional values and have calories, salts, and fats. In recent years, people have adopted a culture of eating junk foods as compared to healthy foods, and this is because they're affordable and tasty. Join me, Naomi Wanjiku, for a comprehensive report.
Coming up are some of the views of the people we came into contact with, and this is what they had to say concerning the issue.
Healthy food is the food that when you eat, it has protein, it has carbohydrates, and it has vitamins. So if we take, for instance, junky food like the chips or some cakes or biscuits, so you see that is just one aspect of food which is only providing you with carbohydrate, which is energy. But you also need protein to build up your body.
According to me, junk food is not healthy. Although we always want to eat something sweet in between meals or that, but it should not be eaten in large amounts. It should be taken in minimal amounts or not that often, yeah.
Junk food is not as healthy as we may think. Is this true? We spoke to Mrs. Sarah Washira, a nursing lecturer at Daystar University, and here is what she had to say.
So you may find people developing diabetes just because of regular eating of junk foods. Some of the reasons why you would develop diabetes later in life is because the more you expose your body to high sugars, the more the hormone that is supposed to make you utilize glucose in the body is produced. With time, the body becomes resistant to that hormone, so that any rise in the sugar actually doesn't cause rise in the insulin hormone. So with time, you have got somebody who has a very high blood sugar because they're no longer sensitive to the hormone insulin as a result of prolonged exposure to very high sugary and carbohydrate kind of diets that are empty in nutrients. The other condition that you're likely to develop is what you'd call cardiovascular heart diseases. This is as a result of a raised level of low density lipoproteins, which is what we call the bad cholesterol. Remember, some of these junk foods like crisps, chips, they have very high salt. So when you take a diet that is very high in salt, then you retain fluid. And some of those, the retention of fluid has been associated with high blood pressure.
As you've heard from the experts, too much consumption of junk food can lead to diabetes and cardiovascular diseases such as stroke. Simon Kimani, a clinical officer, also highlights on the long-term effects of junk foods.
The refined sugars that we take tend to drop drastically all of a sudden, and they can cause irritability and fatigue and feeling weak because of that drastic fall of sugars in the body.
As you have heard from our experts, junk food is not healthy. Therefore, it is advisable to substitute junk food with healthy foods such as vegetables and fruits. Remember, your health is your wealth. Reporting for Information Galore, I'm Naomi Wanjiku.
Hello and welcome to our interview segment. I'm your host, Joanne. And today in studio we have Cynthia Aurelia. She's a junk food lover, as well as a Daystar University student. Welcome, Cynthia.
Thank you.
So, why do you love junk food in real sense?
Junk food is comfort food. It depends on how you eat your junk food. For me, I eat it for comfort, for love of sugar, and what else? But in general, I just love eating junk. because I find it convenient, easy, and it's cheap.
You've told us that junk food has a lot of sugar, as we all know. Do you mean that you're not conscious of your health?
Not that I'm not conscious of my health. Growing up, like I lived with a strict mom. So growing up, I didn't eat a lot of junk food. So until I was in high school, that's when I started eating junk food. Because when in high school, you're being bought juice, biscuits. I didn't go into a high school where we are supposed to eat that, but I had the money, I had the freedom, so I could actually eat. So the sugar part, I don't think, like, you need sugar. Like when you're down, you need sugar to wake you up. It gives you some energy. You know what the sugar does in your body, and that's what junk food does in your body.
Yeah, but you have the money. You have the money to also buy healthy food. You have an option to buy healthy food such as rice, chapati. You can still buy chapati, rice, ugali.
Taste.
Why do you choose junk?
Taste.
Taste. What do you mean by
Like
taste?
there's a difference between ugali and skuma and fries and chicken. They are two different things. Like they taste. There's just something about junk food. The other food, yes, they are healthy, but they lack taste. You eat something because it's tasty, it's yummy. That's the whole idea of junk food.
Okay, and one of the long-term effects of junk food is actually overeating, because junk food, after a long time of consumption, makes you overeat. Do you overeat as a result of?
Number one, for junk food, if you're a junk eater, you don't eat to get satisfied. No, you can never get full of junk food. So junk food it's not like ugali, the way you eat ugali and you're so full you just feel like sleeping. When you eat fries, after like 2 hours, so you really need to eat something else. It's not to satisfy you, it's good for the mouth.
So in respect to what you said about junk being cheaper and healthy food being expensive, let's say like you have 10 shillings and these 10 shillings can buy you a banana, which is healthy, and a lollipop, which is junk. So would you go for a banana that is healthy? Because they are one and the same.
Sugar.
Yeah, it's the same price.
Sugar.
So would you go for a banana
Sweet.
or a sweet?
Sweet. Sugar. Sugar all the way. Like sugar gives you energy. You'll find people in class, it's around me, probably in classes, if you observe, most people prefer doing, instead of water, they prefer doing soda, because like everything is shutting down, and the only way to keep yourself awake is by sugar.
But sugar has long-term effects to the body. For example, you end up getting diabetes. You also end up being obese.
It's being smart. You take sugar, then like for junk eaters, not like I'm trying to justify, but it's if you start doing junk. For me, I told you, like growing up, I ate healthy. For me, it was healthy eating. That I do find the effects of junk food, like overweight. You become, your BMI is not even right. You start, but it's not an addiction per se. It's something we do for fun. You'll find when people are stressed, what do they turn to? Junk. It's a comfort food. There's nothing bad about it.
And let's say now with the case of overweight and obese, do you care about your weight? Or like let's say if you eat junk and then you find yourself adding weight, do you fear for your life?
It actually bothers me, but for junk eaters, you have this thing, I'll go to the gym, but when you go to the gym, you're told you want to eat fries, there's nothing, you can't eat fries, can't eat anything to do with wheat, because there's something about wheat that actually adds you more weight and it stays in the system. Meat, so we start, but there's some relapse, like it happens.
So what advice would you give to people out there maybe who are more into junk than healthy food?
From a junk eater perspective, try to balance. It's like any other addiction that anybody could, you just don't stop with a day. one day, if you love fries, if you eat fries twice a day, eat at least once. If you drink a lot of soda, because that's another addiction, especially for the sake of sugar. If you take like 3 bottles of soda, kindly just take one, then and replace it with water or fresh juice. Try and get substitutes.
Okay, it was our guest Cynthia. We've been talking about junk because to her diet is more of junk rather than healthy food, and we've just been discussing about how she can break away from this habit. Stay tuned to Information Galore for more.
With baby Junior Jelly, I receive the mother's love, the mother's care. Boo, 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 boo. With baby Junior Jelly, I receive the mother's touch, my favorite every day, and it soothes every moment. Baby Junior Jelly is every baby.
Baby Junior Jelly, and more so, it is a grandma's recipe for a peaceful baby. Relaxes, softens, it is fragrant and friendly on the skin. It's the best to prevent a diaper rash, dry and sensitive skin.
In fashion, we looked at piercings as a fashion trend, where our fashion reporter Mary Karingu, with the help of the experts, highlighted on piercings as an accessory, as well as the relationship between piercings and modeling.
Did you know that piercings have been in existence for more than 4,000 years? Well, join me, Mary Karengo, to find out more. Over the years, piercings have been considered a source of beauty and used as an accessory. We hit the streets to find out your opinion.
I think piercings are okay. I mean, there's no problem with anyone having piercings because they enhance beauty, they are stylish. Yeah, I think it's a good accessory to have on your ears. I don't see any problem with it.
It depends on where one is piercing, but if it is on the ears, I really don't mind. But again, if one is piercing like too many holes, then I have a problem with that.
To expound further on this subject, we sought the opinion of fashion blogger Derek Munene and professional model Purity Nelima. Derek Munene gives us his take on piercings as an accessory.
Piercings appears to be the latest trend in the fashion industry, which I think can go a lot well with what you're dressed with. And if you're a guy and you have piercings probably on both sides of the earlobes, probably just have one and maybe put on a dark shade of stanners, maybe black or not gold, because you're gonna look a bit weird and it's not expected for actually a man to pierce. But if you're gonna have stanners, probably have studs, probably have the black ones or a dark shade. That goes a lot better if you're dressed in casual wear. But if you want to go official, do not put on any forms of studs. Plus, I usually think it's very inappropriate for a man to actually pierce certain areas of the body. Like, you pierce all the way up your earlobe, you pierce your nose, you pierce your lip, you pierce your eyebrows. It's not actually required, because you have to stay perfect. You have to stay like the way you were created. So if it's a piercing, just have probably one on both sides of the earlobe.
Modeling is at the core of fashion. We might be of the opinion that piercings are a plus when it comes to modeling. Well, we thought wrong, as Purity Nelima of Alma Modeling Agency tells us.
The question was if piercings and tattoos affect you or add any value to your modeling career, especially when you're on the runway. The answer is not really, because you may have tattoos and it won't really add any values. And some agencies are so strict, you can't go on the runway if you have piercings or tattoos. If you have to go, maybe they'll do makeup to cover it up, but in terms of value, it doesn't really add any value.
Piercings are not a new phenomenon, as they have been with us and will continue being with us as the trend shows. But we need to keep it simple to avoid creating a different perception. For Information Galore, my name is Mary Karengo.
Welcome to our interview segment, and in studio today we have a beauty queen, Dora.
She believes in the beauty of piercings. She actually has a nose ring as well as other piercings, and she's here to shed some light on maybe how she got the piercings, if they were painful or not, and so many other questions. Welcome, Donna.
Hi.
Why go for more than one piercing?
I've always been interested in piercings like my whole life, and I would have gotten them earlier, but my mom would try and let me wait it out because she thought it was a phase, but I still feel the same way about piercing.
Have you ever gone to a place maybe where, let's say, a nose ring is prohibited, and then if so, what did you go through?
In Daystar, Athi River, they are more strict about facial piercings than they are here in Hollywood. So every time I go to Athi River, I have to remove my nose piercing, because when I joined Daystar, I had a piercing, and while I was there, I had to remove it because the security would tell me it's not allowed, and they wouldn't allow me to go to where I was going if it was still in the piercing. So,
like, after them telling you that you need to remove that piercing, or you don't need to show up with it in school, what did you, like, how did you feel as an individual?
I personally think it's a bit ridiculous, because normally the thing with piercings and tattoos and your hairstyle, it has to do with professionalism, and it's just a small nose ring. Like, it's not a huge, outstanding, thing on my face that's distracting people if I'm conducting a conversation, if I have a meeting or something like that. So I just thought it was ridiculous, but I did enter Daystar knowing what rules that they had, so I couldn't refuse, because you sign a ledger or whatever when you're joining Daystar, so it's just better to comply with them and do what you want in your own time.
Okay, Dora, are you planning on having more piercings?
Yes, I'm not even done with piercing my ears, and there are others that I'm still contemplating on getting, but it's definitely in the plan.
You have many already. I can see you have like 2 on your ears.
I have 3 on my ears.
Oh yeah, there are 3.
Yeah.
You have 1 on your nose, you have 1 on your tongue. So you plan on getting maybe 1 on the eyebrows?
No, still, okay, facial wise, I wanted to get 1 here, but it's still a debate in my head, but eyebrow piercing is not for me.
Okay, and were they painful? Like when you're getting them, were they painful?
For my nose and ears it wasn't, but the one for my tongue it was quite painful, because trying to find an exit hole, it was quite excruciating, but it was quick.
And how long does it take to heal? For example, the one for the tongue now.
That one, because of where it was, it just 1 week. It was already healed. I was really comfortable with it.
What's your word to the young people out there, the young girls out there, maybe who want to get these piercings, but they're still in the cocoon of thinking maybe they are going to hurt someone, maybe their parents or the society, maybe they are scared of the perception, like how will people receive them after having maybe those piercings? What would you tell them?
I would tell them that you should do what you want as long as you're ready to accept the consequences, because there are people who just do something because they want it, and then when something comes up and it interferes with their goals, they regret it. So if you're going to get an eyebrow piercing, a nose piercing, a lip piercing, get it because you're okay with removing it, or you're okay with how people are going to perceive you afterwards. And if it's very important for people around you, if it matters whether you have a piercing or not, I would have a conversation with them and find some middle ground, because at the same time, you don't want to offend people.
Thank you so much, Dora, for coming.
Thank you.
I feel so good and very confident. Morbid body milk cream has changed my life. It makes my skin so soft, smooth and healthy, nourished and moisturized. Beautiful, oh beautiful. So beautiful is Morbid body milk cream. Beautiful, oh beautiful. I'm feeling so fresh all day long.
Morbid body milk cream, a Morbid body milk lotion, is a blend of glycerin and natural oils to enable your skin look healthy and adorable.
I'm feeling so fresh all day long.
Morbid, all day confidence.
In our political episode, our field reporter Hebrews Rono had an in-depth analysis of women and power, the man's perspective.
Do women make good leaders? From 1990 to date, the number of women in leadership positions has increased tremendously. Join me, Hebrews Rono, as we get to know more. We sought for your views on this issue, and this is what we gathered.
Despite all the years of women empowerment, I'm still yet to see the impact on the community and in the country and all that, because it's a selfish agenda. You know, women get empowered, then all they want to do is to stay empowered on their own, and they don't want to make impact or change anything in the society.
So are you saying women are not useful for the society?
They are useful for the society. Yeah.
I think they can be leaders, because I've seen a couple of women who have been leaders and they know how to play their parts. But sometimes I think they can get carried away by the emotions and, you know, maybe thinking they being the only one, yeah. You know, the boss, you know, because they think, because you know, most leaders are men, so as a woman they think they've really achieved by becoming the boss.
Some of the women we have make good leaders, but in my opinion, a good leader does not depend on the gender. It depends on the person themselves and the principles and how they do their work, how they perform. Yeah, not really the gender. I think leaders are made, not really born. So you cannot say that a woman can make or a man can make a good leader. It depends on their upbringing and how they were molded.
Kenya is on the journey of trying to achieve the 2/3 gender rule. The 3 female governors we have are part of the achievement, but we still have a long way to go. We spoke to Mrs. Sylvia Morioki, a Peace and International Relations lecturer at Daystar University, and this is what she had to say.
This will only depend on a few things. First, overcoming the cultural barriers. That this traditional view, really, that women maybe are not meant to be leaders and women cannot lead, really is a misperception, as it has been proved by women who have really gotten into power. Globally, world over, this has really proven that women can make very good leaders. The second one is that women also have really to change their perceptions. They have to come out and support their own. It is through this support sister, that we will be able really to go there. This does not mean really that we are discriminating or we will be discriminating against the other gender, no. It is about women believing in themselves, coming out, offering themselves for these positions, and women themselves supporting fellow women so that we can really be able to propel women into these positions in government.
Besides awarding cabinet positions to women, society should also embrace female leaders. As we champion for female leadership, let's also not forget the male gender. How do men feel? Is the boy child under siege? We spoke to Reverend Ken Aringo of the Anglican Church of Kenya, Nairobi Diocese, and these are his sentiments.
First of all, I must say that there is a general narrative about the gender at war with one another. I want to say categorically that what you see currently, especially in our political setup in Kenya, and I would care to say even across Africa, we celebrate a lot when we hear a woman in leadership, which is because we come from a past whereby the woman or the girl child did not have a space, even a forum to express her leadership skills. Many times my fear is that if we go on with that trajectory, whereby we propel the girl child from the past of oppression and being looked down upon, we'll reach a point whereby the boy child now feels no one cares about him. And from my experience as a minister, there are many times I interview with young girls and they are looking for scholarships, and the confidence with which I see girls express themselves today, their willingness to try anything, because there's a general goodwill of the public that when a girl child makes it, then something good is happening. We need to expend the same energy to encourage the boy child.
Leadership does not depend on gender. It depends on the ability to serve the society. Reporting for Information Galore, my name is Hebrews Rono.
On the bench today we have the Daystar University Students Body, Vice Chairperson, Ms. Deborah Wangoye,
and she's here to expound on women. Welcome, baby.
Thank you for having me.
To start us off, what made you vie for the Mr. Vice Presidency?
Well, I didn't want to vie for this actually. It was my friend who told me I should vie because there was a scope of leaders who said everything should do well as Vice President. And I thought about it, and then I had to ask more people, and then yeah, I chose to vie because of their opinion, not even my own.
So, on that note, do you feel that people voted for you, maybe fellow students voted for you because you are a good leader or because of what you're standing for, or they voted for you because you are a woman, like they wanted a female vice president?
No, I think they wanted a female vice president because, not to say my counterpart didn't do well, it's just the former recent leader of 2016, she did well. So people thought that also another female vice president will do well. Also, the constitution mandates that if the president is male, then the vice president should be of the opposite gender. So also doing that.
And what about like your principles, what you stood for, maybe your manifesto? Did it contribute to people voting for you?
Yes, I believe so, because my manifesto had a lot to do with the poor relationship between the students and the lecturers of the department, and how a lot of things were getting done. Like a student can complain about grades, but it can take 2 months for that situation to be handled. It can take a week. So, also because of my manifesto, I believe so.
And what about the challenges? For example, let's say you are a female vice president, you are a student as well. What challenges do you face maybe as you try to carry on your duties?
The challenge was, let me say the job challenge. The challenge of being a deputy president was, it's so much work. Getting money for coming to schools, the academics. So you find the grievances and the issues are more than they say. It's finance, it's registration, it's grades, it's lecturers, it's treatment, it's academic disciplinary, it's not knowing how to read, so they have a 1.9 GPA. And in terms of being a deputy president as a woman, I think the challenge is always the perpetual woman. So most of the departments who have a manager who's male will look at you like, I don't think you're able to handle this. Or they'll just sideline you and think only of the president, but not of you.
Do you feel you delivered, for example, let's say to the students' expectations?
I think so. I wish they could do an evaluation on me, then I would know. But when I think of it in terms of my manifesto, I have, because all the things I listed in my manifesto, I have achieved. Yeah, actually, yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much, Debbie, for your time.
Thank you.
It's been good hosting me here.
Thank you.
And in our citizen reporting segment, our best citizen report is from Brian, a Daystar University student.
My name is Brian, I'm a Daystar student. This is my plate of fries. This is actually my lunch. It cost me 100 shillings. And I'm here with my friend, Joel.
John.
So what do you think about the
this is great food. This is great food. This is the best.
Yeah, many people are saying that it's junk, it's not healthy.
Yeah,
but
and
I
it's
think
only 100 shillings.
It's only 100, isn't it?
It's supposed to be 70, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So anyway, this is easier for us students. It's easier for us to get. It's quicker.
Heavier.
It's better. It's heavier for us. You know, we don't have time for like healthy rice and barley right now. So yeah, this is all we can. This is all we can. This is all we can. This is all we can do. Is there any other option?
Thank you so much for watching the Information Galore program. You can follow these and more of our episodes on YouTube at Information Galore, on Facebook at the Information Galore program, as well as Instagram at the Information_Galore program. I have been your host, Joanne Mwale. On behalf of the Information Galore family, bye.